Hey there, fourth grade. Miss Koima here. I am so sorry that I cannot be there with you, but if you don't know already, you are watching your ELD lesson, and I am so happy that you are able to find it. You just clicked on my face, and you're here, so welcome. So, fourth grade, yesterday, or earlier this week, we began the work of talking about our snowy destination. We use adjectives to describe the things that we saw. So, for example, the sky wasn't just blue, it was crystal blue. We talked about the different parts of things that we would see in a snowy mountain, like thinking about not just the lake, but the bank of the water. The bank of the water was covered with snow, or the lake was frozen over. So we're using describing words to bring to life the things that we saw with our own eyes as we talked about what happened in the past tense. So fourth grade, I wanted to talk to you about today's objective. So you're going to answer, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to watch this video and you're going to answer some questions in writing. So today, what we're going to use is we're going to just use adjectives or describing words. Remember, adjectives are describing words. What does something look like, feel like, smell like? So you're going to use adjectives of quantity. Go like this. Do it with me. Quantity. Quantity means number. So we're going to use adjective describing words of quantity or numbers to describe something that you saw in the snowy town. So sometimes when you're telling a story, so say we went on a hike and you're telling your friend, yo, I saw some deers. And they're like, okay, but you're trying to paint a picture in their head. So they might ask, how many deers? And that's where quantity comes in. Quantity comes in. That means how many? Like number, was it a lot, a few, one, So you might say, I saw 5, or I saw a lot of deers. That paints a better picture in their head when you use those adjectives or describing words of quantity. So what does that mean? So it means basically how much, right? So if we're thinking about, so I want you to repeat after me. So there might be a little bit. You might say a few. Repeat after me. I hope you're saying yours up, because when we say things, it becomes knowledge. So you might say a few, several. So maybe there's like 1 or 2. But if there's a little bit more, you might say some. Say it to yourself, some. If there's a lot, you might say something like nearly all of them, right? Nearly all of fourth grade was logged into Zoom. Almost all means like, almost everyone, but not, there was a few other people that weren't there or whatever. But if you're talking about everyone, you might say all. So you notice how quantity, it gets small, starts off small and then it gets bigger and bigger. So few, several, repeat after me, my turn, your turn, few, several, some, nearly all, almost all, and all, or everyone, right? So those are some adjectives of quantity, or every. Each, oh my gosh, each person. All right, so we're going to practice doing that. So for example, you want to add detail with those adjectives of quantity. So here are some examples. My turn, your turn. I say it, you go. Some adjectives of quantity, a few of, several, some, almost all, nearly all, every, each. Okay? Those are adjectives of quantity. How many? How much? Now we have to describe, so we have to think about the noun. Remember, nouns are a person, a place, or a thing. So we can use our map, right? So we use those blue words. And then we can say, what was that noun doing? Were what? Had what? What was it, right? So if the noun is singular, you're going to use every or each with had or was, okay? So if it's only one of them. So for example, almost all the houses, that's our noun, had smoke coming out of the chimneys. Okay, notice how because there's more than one house, we use had, right? So almost all the houses had smoke coming out of the chimneys. My quantitative adjective is almost all. My noun, I plugged it in, was houses, and we use the word had, right? Coming out of the chimneys. Another example, a few of the trees is my noun, were full of pine cones. So notice how we use an adjective of quantity here, a few of. We're describing trees. we have to describe something about them. What about the trees? Tell me more. Describe the trees more. Were full of pine cones. Or were naked. They didn't have any leaves on. Or had lots of leaves. Or were covered with snow. When you plug in the noun and you use were, had, or was, you have to describe what the noun looks like or what's going on with the noun to paint that picture. So we can say every, or we can say, oh, it's covered, but we can say, let me try another one on my own. Every, what else do we see? Oh, look, there's shops. Every shop were crowded, had crowded, was crowded. Okay, because it's singular. Because I'm not just talking about multiple shops. The noun I used was shop, so I can say every shop was crowded. Okay, so I used my adjective of quantity of quanti- adjective of quantities, how many, put a noun, and then I described my noun. All right. So we did that work together. Okay. There were snow covered mountains. Now let's try one with nearly all. Nearly all of the mountains were snow covered. So you notice how we use that adjective of quantitative. Nearly all of the mountains were what? Describe it. Snow covered or were covered with snow. All right. All right, fourth grade. So let's go ahead and see how you're going to do this together. So right now below this video, after you watch the video, you're going to be filling out this Google form. It's very similar to how you do your reading assessments. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your name. So if I'm Randy, I'll put Randy. And then these are your anchor charts. So it says anchor chart. Use this map to write your sentences. Remember, blue are nouns and green are describing words. So we have pine cones, trees, woods, forest, shop, trees, school bus, road, street. These are the words that we're going to use the anchor chart to write our sentences. Now, here's the sentence stems that we're going to use. There's your adjectives of quantity. There's where you place the noun. You plug in that noun, were, had, was, and then describe it. So you're going to write 3 sentences. So the first question says, write a sentence. Use the map of the snowy town and sentence stem anchor chart to write a sentence describing what you saw in the snowy town. Be sure to use an adjective of quantity and noun in the sentence. So I've got to use my resources. So I'm going to use this. So I can say, I'll say a few of, let's see, let me go to my map. Let's see, I have to put a noun. A few of the, here's one. A few of the trees. And then I use that were. I got to use the sentence term exactly the way it is. Were what? How I describe the trees? A few of the trees, were full of pine cones. Boom. I have my adjective of quantity. I used my noun. I used were, and I described it. That's a few of the trees were full of pine cones. Boom, done. Then it's the same question. I have to do this 3 more times. So I'm going to answer question number 3. Same question. I'm going to use this sentence frame to write another sentence, a brand new one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. So, let's see. Oh, I know. Let's put every. Oh, let's use every. So every, what did I see? What other? Every, I know it's not here, but maybe there's people here. So every kid was, how can I describe them? What? Oh, you know what there was wearing a hat. Here's my sentence. So I used the sentence frame, I used the adjective, and then I filled out the sentence frame. So you're going to do this. You're going to do a total of 3 sentences. And once you do that, you're going to click submit. I'll say, all right, 4th grade. So I'm excited to see what you write. Be sure to use your map and your sentence frame resources and practice saying the sentence to yourself before you type it. All right, 4th grade. I cannot wait to see the work that you do.